back to green.
Really stacking up. Wow, that was close. That bottom line stacked up bad all the way back through the field.
Ryan Preece got the free pass. He's now just 1 lap down. Bottom feeders, Dillon and Larson going after the lead.
Mike, you're got them elbows up.
Absolutely. Austin Dillon is strong tonight.
That's two corners in a row. He's bounced off of Larson. Interesting to see how that ends up.
Like last night where he ran the whole heat race right there, right in the middle of the racetrack. That's his groove.
Outside.
And I honestly think some of that aggression, I mean, we've got 17 laps to go in this stage, and there's a large likelihood that the 3, the 5, the 20, these guys are going to stay out. Austin wants
Spinner
that
in
lead.
2, and around goes Eric. Oh, gosh, Eric Jones. And we are still green.
Shoot, Boyer, I'm starting to think you could pull that maneuver off now.
Look at this race for the lead. Fantastic. Austin's really putting the pressure on them down below. Move back up, got in line.
Kyle Busch for the lead.
Here comes a slide job.
Bottom to top.
Well done.
Backward crossover with Reddick, though. Just like we saw in that dirt race Thursday night when we were watching them. When they start doing this slide job and crossing back and forth, this is where it gets fun to watch. Oh, not clear. Now that's a slide job gone wrong. That won't make him happy.
Tyler Reddick got used up there, and here comes Austin Dillon on the bottom. Could not clear him. Kyle Larson closing from the top with Christopher Bell.
The whole reason that didn't go any worse than it did was, I'm sure Tyler Reddick still remembers the last corner of the last lap last year. He knows this is not the time for that incident to happen. Just give that spot up. He's good enough to get that lead back.
Kind of what I was talking about with Preece. He bailed out. He didn't stick in there. You didn't hold his own on that outside. If he did, they would have been in the wall for sure. Just like you were saying, a little bit of patience went a long ways there.
12 to go in stage 2. Kyle Busch in command.
This is one of those nights where when the track gets this slick, you've got to give each other just a little bit extra room than what you do on a weekly basis in these cars.
Man, Dillon is able to really rifle that thing down into 3 way hard.
Watching from our Coca-Cola Zero Sugar cam on board Dillon.
Watch how much deeper he can get into the corner than Reddick.
Well, in the radius that he's running, when he turns down in early like that, he's not having to turn as tight as Tyler Reddick is on the top. That's why Tyler has to slow his entry down a little bit, but he's able to get that big run on the top off the corner.
Can't really do it as much at 1 and 2 down here, but 3, I mean, it's 3 car lengths.
And everybody's driving around that hole in turn 3, right there between the 2 second and third place cars.
Busch slipped up.
Wow, Dillon led for about 100 feet, and then Reddick to the front. How about that?
If you don't like this kind of racing, you don't like racing.
Busch, the leader, bobbled. They pounced on it. Reddick to the point. Old tires, mind you. Oh! Teammates got into one another just like Larson and Preece. Dillon is very aggressive behind the wheel tonight. Definitely a different Austin Dillon that I've seen in weeks past.
Well, you see this in him when he gets some confidence. When he has a car that feels good to him, that's when you see this style of driving in Austin come out, where he can get up on the wheel and do his job.
Larson challenging Busch, takes third.
Found that line that Austin was running.
Busch back after him going into 1.
Got into the 3 really deep, really straight. Keeps the car underneath of him.
You look at that in car, you look at his hands on the wheel. He's not death gripping that steering wheel at all. He's nice and relaxed in the car, not having to make big moves. He's got a nice balanced race car right now.
Larson got Busch, but Busch crosses him back over. Well, they almost got into one another. That was very close.
That's going to bring Christopher Bell into the picture for third here with 4 laps to go in the stage.
Bell was extremely tight in the first stage. I think they made some massive adjustments and may have got him too loose. His car looks extremely loose now. Might find a happy medium and get this car even better for this last stage.
Heart rate up to 165 on Christopher Bell, who was complaining after stage 1 his car was tight, tight, tight.
And I think a lot of these teams planned on starting the race tighter than what they were in the heat races last night. With all the moisture that was in the air, how wet the track was, makes a lot more grip, and you have to free the car up to get it to rotate. Where tonight, having a day where the track's got a lot slicker than it was last night, have to tighten this car up to keep the rear end underneath you.
2 to go, and here's the fight for the final stage point. Almirola right now has it. Ty Dillon, the 11th place car.
Talked to Eric this morning. Had a different approach going into this. Said he said, man, I am just terrible. I am terrible at this dirt race. I'm going with a different approach. I'm going to run all the laps, stay out of trouble, and try to be there at the end. And it's paying off for him big.
Who's going to win this stage? Reddick off turn number 2. Dillon will have one more try on the inside. Here he comes.
Even stop. Still there.
Tyler Reddick, stage 2 winner. 1/10 of a second ahead of Austin Dillon.
But now he has to pit. This is going to be interesting.
Here's where Kyle Busch crosses under and takes the lead from Tyler Reddick. But Kyle slipped up. Dillon got in there. Reddick took the lead back and wins the stage.